Welcome to the Owners Club podcast, the show where we open the doors to real conversation with real business owners. I'm your host, Sean Ziari.
How are you, Jamie? Welcome
I'm
to the
good.
Owner Club podcast.
I'm excited. I'm excited to be here.
Where are you right now?
I am based in the Kansas City area.
Okay.
So I split my time between Kansas City and Northwest Indiana. So I spent about 2 weeks out of the month in Northwest Indiana and then 2 weeks here in Kansas City.
And is that because of a family or job, or why do you go back and forth?
Yeah, I go back and forth. My boyfriend's there and I have a virtual job. So I split my time. He's doing economic development for Gary. So he's pretty busy in Gary,
Gary,
Indiana. So he
Indiana,
does, yep, he's doing Gary, Indiana, Michigan City. So he's very busy with Gary.
home of the
And so
Jackson Five.
yep, yeah. So that is the claim to fame for Gary. And so he's working really, really hard with the mayor on a lot of new initiatives and really changing the mindset and the trajectory of the city. So I support him and I'll go out there and, go to city council meetings and different things like
Nice.
that. And yeah,
That sounds exciting. That's seems like a lot of good work he's doing. Maybe we'll get him to be a member
yeah,
of OC next year, and then I
yeah.
can interview him and ask him about it.
Yeah, he actually was my plus one in Monterey. So next time at the next conference we'll have to connect y'all because he was busy networking and talking to people and things like
Yeah.
that. So yeah,
How did you
yeah, for
like
sure.
Monterey, and how did you get to be in the Owners Club? Kind of tell me your
Okay,
story.
yeah, let me tell you. So
Oh, I'm ready. I'm ready. Go.
yeah, this is a story. So I'm just like on YouTube one night and something with Pace comes up. I have no idea who this guy is. I watch a couple of his videos and I think they were like older videos because then I actually started negotiating the seller financing deal. And I once again did not know who Pace was. So I like DM'd him and was like, hey, because on one of the videos, he was like helping someone he didn't even know who like had messaged him or something. So I was like, oh, this is what he does. So I messaged him and I'm like,
He
hey,
does.
da 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 da, like, would love your input about this. And so he was like, hey, I don't really do that anymore. I have my team do it or someone in my sub two group or da 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 da. But he responded.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. And then I guess after he responded, I started seeing more of his stuff on my Instagram. And so I saw something about Squad Up. It was like 2 weeks away. I signed up for it. And I think like the next day it cut off of the deadline to register. And
That's the 2020, just the past.
yeah, the one that just passed. So I
Okay.
did
All
not
right. Well,
know,
girl,
like,
you are jumping in. Go.
this is
Go.
very recent, right? I had no idea
Yeah.
who it was.
I
So
love it.
literally, but the time I saw him, and then, or the first time I saw him online, and then Squad Up was maybe like 4 weeks, maybe. Go to Squad Up, don't know anyone, meet a few people, but I meet one person in particular, and we connect. We're talking shop, right, real estate shop, and then I join Owners Club,
Hmm.
and that
Who was
is
this one
literally.
particular person you were talking to?
Well, she's not in Owners Club. The
Okay.
one person was not in Owners Club, but I was
She's in
like, oh,
sub
I'm
two.
no, she was just there very similar to myself, just like there. I knew of Heidi because Heidi is an attorney, so I knew of Heidi, so I was able to connect with Heidi and talk to her, talk shop with Heidi. But it was
Hmm.
it was so interesting because I literally did not know them at all and just jumped in. I'm a part of some other masterminds, but it was something about this group that I was like, okay, you know, gotta jump in.
That's so
Yeah.
amazing. And when you jumped in, of course, you didn't know anything about Owners Club. None of us did.
No.
And we
No.
show up and we're in this room of mega
Yeah.
stars. Tell me, how did you get to that? And when you were in the room, what were some of your experiences? Share with people who have not been in a Owners Club
Yeah.
retreat.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I love the fact that Pace and Jamil were so authentic and were so transparent. And, I loved hearing all the creative ways that they were able to get in deals that was so just totally different than me, than what I had known. So I'm an attorney by training. And so to hear all these creative ways, I was like, whoa, what? What? Oh, I gotta learn this, right?
Wait,
That
is this
that was
legal?
like
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I'm in, right? I'm in. I'm all about how to
Mhm.
I'm not that attorney. I'm not the one that follows the rules. I'm the one that's like, where's the gray area? How can we work with the business to make this work, right? So to hear about something creative, I was like, I never knew this even existed. And so I was all in. And that is pretty much it didn't take much for me. Because I felt Pace and Jamil's heart, like it was very evident that they cared. And I was like, I need to be in a group of people who are always looking for the exception to the rule. And that's what I did. That's why I joined.
Wow, that's really good observation. You're absolutely right about the authenticity of Pace and Jamil. And
Mhm.
by the way, Jamil loves it when you text him dirty jokes or
Okay.
dad jokes. So you have his
Okay.
number. Everybody, whoever's
Okay.
listening, please text Jamil all the dirty jokes you know. Where did you go to
Okay.
school, Jamie, for law school
Yeah.
or college
So
and law school?
I went to the University of Florida for grad school, for undergrad, and then I went to North Carolina Central for law school. So I've been all over. And it was interesting because during Squad Up, I was wearing my Gator alumni sweatshirt because we were in the Sweet 16 then. And then it just kind of worked out that we went to the Final Four and won. And so it was funny because after Squad Up, I was so focused on, you know, elevating and looking for different properties that while I was even in San Antonio for the Final Four in the championship game, I actually was like touring properties, like going to RV parks, going to mobile home parks, like literally
Yeah.
the day of the championship game, my father and because I took my whole family, because my sister also went to the University of Florida, so we're both Gators. So I took my whole family. We stayed in this really cute Airbnb, and just had a great time. But literally, my dad and I woke up and we drove 3 hours, right, one way to go look at like 4 RV parks the day of the championship game, and then drove back. So we had to get up super early. And so, it was just like, and then at the game, I took a picture of myself and sent it to Pace, and Jamil was like, go Gators, right? And I think they probably were like, yeah, yeah, Gator. I'm like, no, no, I'm talking about like the game, the team, right?
Gators, yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
like the
the
Florida Gators.
Gator, the
But it,
University of Florida, that's going to lose to my Texas Longhorns when we beat them in October.
child,
So,
child,
Jamie, if you
child,
want to go ahead and
come
start
on,
crying, I'll be happy to
come
send
on
you a
now,
box of tissues.
come on
Come
now.
on
Now
now.
you know that's not gonna happen. Now you know,
Jamie, how bad did we beat y'all last year? Come on, that was a
but last
spanking.
year was last year.
All
Last
right,
year
I
was last
digress.
year.
We'll trash talk later offline. We'll finish this conversation. I love the
Okay.
fact
Oh yeah,
that
we're
you're
gonna do some trash talking because that now that look now
I
that
like
y'all are in the SEC, right? The real
yeah,
conference, y'all. This is a whole nother level of trash talking.
we're about to
The
own
SEC.
it. We're about to own it, you know?
You see my face. You see my face. Now you know.
Where did your boyfriend go to school? Do you guys trash talk?
So he went to a small liberal arts school in on the East Coast called Williams College. And so it's so funny because I
That's
had
not an
never heard of
unknown. That's a great college, Williams College. Yeah.
Okay, so that's the thing. I didn't think it was known, and I think it's
Yeah.
just because I'm from the SEC. He was like, Jamie, like he was like, you understand, like I had Saudi princes, like in like he's like, I had some heavy hitters at my school. I was like, oh, really? He's like, yeah. So it's so funny because when we talk about our school experiences, and he's talking about some of the people he went to college with. I'm like, oh wow, you went with who? A Saudi prince or who?
Right.
Right. And so, whenever I do say, oh, he went to Williams College, and the people that know, they're like, oh, he went to Williams College. Yeah. And he went to college at 14. So he's super smart.
Oh,
Um, yeah,
okay. What did
yeah,
he
he's
study at the age of 14 in college?
what was it? It was political science and something else. He was a double major.
Oh,
But he's
I've got to meet this
super.
man now. Yeah.
Yes, he's super. I mean, literally, like, I had to study hard to get good grades, and he's just very, very just brilliant, just good guy, great guy. So, but yeah, it's so funny because a lot of times I don't think people know Williams College, and then when people do, they're like, "Oh, yeah, that's a real good school." So yeah,
That's a serious school. Wow.
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
married a brilliant woman.
Okay, so
You
okay,
and I
okay.
have in common that, we just had to work hard to get through
We just had to
school.
work hard. Yeah,
Barely,
yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yep.
that's wonderful. I'm looking forward. And what is his name?
Ezzy Redwood,
Okay.
Eze,
All right.
Ezzy. Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, very
Yep.
cool. So I'm glad you made it to the Owners Club and
Yeah.
your impression of the Owners Club. while you were there in Monterey, who did you connect with closely and were like, yeah,
Yeah.
let's get together. Let's do, I'm sure you're in a
hmm
group, you're in a pod, right? Where
I'm
you
in a
guys are
pod. Yeah, no, it
accountable
was
to each
great.
other. Yeah. Tell
Yeah,
us
no, it
about the
was really
pods and the
good.
accountability group.
Yeah. So I will tell you what I loved is being able to like meet some people here in the Kansas City area because I didn't know, I just thought I was the only person. So that's the good thing is now I'll be able to connect with them. So in probably like in a week, I was going to reach out and see if we could all get together for a happy hour or something like that. So that's what I needed. I needed to see who was local because a lot of times when you leave these conferences, these meetups, and you go home, you really have to dig deep to keep that energy going. You really have to keep deep to keep the culture of what you just experienced, right? And so it's always good to have those one-on-one connections. I mean, yes, it's great to go to the local Kansas City meetup groups or the Wired and Women in Kansas City, but it's something else about being around Pace's community in your hometown, right? And so
Yeah.
I was really, really excited about that. I met about two guys that are in the Kansas City area or that are close, so that's going to be good. I met a lot of people who, whether they're private lenders, whether they, have lending abilities. I met some Z, I call her Z. I can't pronounce her full name, but she owns a construction company in Dallas.
Mhm.
And just to like connect with her, we started an accountability group. So literally yesterday we got together, went through some things that we both have been working on since last week. I helped her analyze a deal because she had never analyzed a deal before because she's just been so focused on her construction business. But now she's open to acquiring properties, multifamilies. And so we underwrote a deal together halfway through our accountability session. So it has been instrumental in just being around people and having that deeper connection because Zoom can only do so much,
That's right.
especially because I wasn't in Gator, I wasn't in Sub Two, I didn't do the day with Pace or go fishing with Pace, so I didn't know anyone. So Monterey was a really just great opportunity to level set and really to set the tempo for the year. So I'm glad that I was able to go.
Yeah. Not only are you found her and your accountability partners, but it sounds like
Yep.
you're elevating each other's business.
Yes.
It seems like what you
Yes.
are offering and hers offering is just allowing you to connect and elevate each other's business. And that's what Owners
Yeah.
Club is about. And that's what I love about this group. Uh, so what would you say is you are working on in the next 12 months? I mean, what's in front of Jamie Davis
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
what's our
Yeah. Yeah.
needs? If somebody's
Yes.
listening and want to work with you, how do they reach you? And
Yeah.
what are your needs?
So I will be completely honest. I am really focused on two things. I am focused on buying small apartments, so one bedroom apartments. So apartment complexes, 20 units, um, 25 units, but they're all one bedrooms. That's what I like. And I'll tell you why. I think that there is a huge need for people to have their own space. I know a lot of people are in co-living and I know that there is a demand for that, but I also know that there is a demand for people to feel that dignity and coming home to themselves and not having to deal with that stress of having roommates, right? And working really hard just to be able to afford that one bedroom. And so that is something that I really, really lean in on because you have people who are, nurses or who are in school and they don't really want to have to share that space. They don't want to have to deal with that drama. They don't want to have to
Mhm.
worry about who ate their peanut butter and jelly sandwich, right? That was in the refrigerator, right? Or their
Yeah,
leftovers.
it's different
It's just
service for different people. Yeah. I mean, a
correct. And
co-pilot,
that
like
is
you said, it serves a
it serves
purpose,
a purpose. It
but
serves a
that's not
purpose. But
your focus, which
correct.
I
That's not
love.
my focus, right? My
So
focus is
20 to
to really,
25 units, right? And
yeah,
what
I'm
else?
looking for smaller apartments to really service that need. And then I'm also looking, excuse me, at mobile home parks as well. And as you know from last night's call, Casey Savage and I are working on a deal. We have not signed the PSA yet. We are negotiating it as we speak. So that's why I was like a second late on the call. Because we are negotiating that and we're really, really excited about that opportunity. So, for me, I dived in. I met Casey also at Squad Up. I met him and we just continued to like run into each other and continue to chit chat. And then when
Hmm.
I joined Owners Club, he was like, "Oh, you're in Owners Club." And then we talked outside, at the last day for like 45 minutes, like, and just continue to talk. And then I immediately started joining his free Saturday morning calls. before I got, truly immersed into Owners Club. I think it was like a couple of days before they opened up the calendar and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then as soon as they did, I started going on his calls and getting on his calls, as you know. And, I meet with him one-on-one. I would show him deals. Like I said, I went to San Antonio and drove with 6 hours round trip to tour 3 or 4 RV parks, right, in one day. And so, Casey was like, "Oh yeah, you're serious." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm serious," right?
Yeah,
I mean,
we want you
anytime
in
you
our group where we keep each other because you're a go-getter. Wow, love
yeah,
it.
look, add me to it. I love being around other motivated people. And I just, was like, "Hey, I found this deal. I analyzed it. What do you think, Casey?" He was like, "Yep, I negotiated." Like, this has all happened in 2 days. I found the deal. I reached out to the seller, had a phone conversation, sent an LOI that day. So maybe like an hour after I talked to the seller. Yeah, then yesterday, Casey and I got on a Zoom with the guy, talked for another hour, then sent over the PSA. So literally 2 days, I really don't play. Like, I'm sending the LOI and the PSA, right? And I will be
Hmm.
honest, and as soon as I get done off this Zoom, I'm going to then send the PSA, right, that we're working on. We had some red lines back to the seller. So the goal is to be under contract by tomorrow. July 4th
I
is our
love it.
goal. Yeah, our
Well, how
goal is to be
perfect. Let's celebrate,
right. Let's
Jamie.
celebrate, right? Yeah, let's celebrate. Go Gators. See, you were doing the Go Gator sign, kind of sort of.
No, I would just say that's not Gators. That's
That's a Gator.
the
That's the
other
Gator. That's the
losers in
Gator.
the Florida area. No, those are the Tomahawks. Sorry, you're right. That is the Gator.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
don't keep up with those Florida.
I'm just
Best
messing with you. Now
football is in
look,
Texas.
we got to
Girl,
do
you
it. Now
know the
I got to
best
mess with
football
you.
is in Texas. Come
I
on.
will tell you, the best high school football is in Texas. I will tell you that. I grew up in
Thank you.
Arlington. I grew up in Arlington, Texas. So I am half Texan, half Floridian. So I will say the best high school football is for sure in Texas. The best college football is in Florida.
Well, it was good having you here today, Jamie. Good day. Bye bye. No, no, I love it. I love, that's what I love. That's what I love about college football is the passion everybody is. I
It's
can't
just a
do
good
it.
time.
Yeah,
It's just
there
a
are a
good time.
couple of NFL teams, people are passionate, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Chicago Bears, but college
Oh,
football, man,
no.
SEC,
Who are the
you,
worst fans ever? Philadelphia Eagles. Their fans are very passionate.
that's true.
Very.
That's one of them. That's one of them. Wow,
Hmm.
that's fantastic. So it sounds like, let's go back to the
Yeah.
subject of RV parks and properties. So you found the person that
Hmm.
got you going. And I think
Yeah.
people miss out on that. That's how Pace and Jamil are different because it's not a mastermind where you sign in, you sit down and say, all right, bring me business. No, 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 no. That's
Right.
not how it works. You're
Right.
need to be in a room. I'm going to let you take over. You know exactly what I'm trying to say. So tell the folks how
Mhm.
that feels to be in that room.
Yeah, I will tell you, Squad Up was good. It was nice, right? I learned a lot. I felt empowered. But being in the owners club, I will tell you, really, because you're around everyone there is on a mission, and they're very driven on this mission, and they're very focused to ensuring that they accomplish their goals, and they understand that they have a team to get there, and they have the resources and the support. And what I love about Owners Club is that it's okay to pivot. I've seen people in my pod pivot on what they are interested in, what asset class, right, or what initiative. I've seen people say I never even thought about co-living, and now they're all in on co-living, or I never thought about sober living, and now they're doing all sober living, right? And so that's
Mhm.
what I love about Owners Club is that you're able to now think about asset classes or buying a business, and you never thought about that before.
Yeah.
For me, I had a business before. When I was in corporate America, I actually started a vending business. I had vending machines and micro markets.
How
Yes.
cool. Where
I
was
had
this at?
I went
Where?
in Kansas City. So I went from
Really?
2 locations to over 25 locations in one year. I had all the YMCAs, I had all like a whole bunch of hospitals. Yeah, I had major contracts here in the city. And I scaled very quickly. And as you know, when you scale quickly, people notice. And some competitors were like, "Hey, we want this route." That's what it's called a vending route. And I actually then sold it. I had scaled and I sold it so that I could just focus on real estate. And so I was able to literally learn how to build a business, scale and sell. And so now I'm in Owners Club and I'm around people who were interested in buying businesses and laundromats and assisted living facilities and the different businesses. And so it's encouraging to then be like, okay, in a few years, I might, look into buying another business. So that's what I love about Owners Club. It gets you thinking about different things. It pushes you. You're able to find the resources in a trusted manner,
Mm-hmm.
right? And of course, you still have to verify, trust but verify, right? Because just because someone's at Owners Club doesn't, mean it means something, but it doesn't. You still have to verify, right? You still have to do your
Mm-hmm.
due diligence. But that's what I really enjoy about the group is that it's a safe space of ideas, and you get to really, be pulled, and you can learn a little bit more than you thought was possible.
Yeah. I hear people talk about that money and ideas and businesses and real estate. It's a mindset. It's a concept.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody grows up and says, "Yeah, I want to own a 17 floor, office complex."
Right,
It's just not
right,
natural. But then you
right.
realize, yeah, I can do this. And it sounds like
Is
you are
it?
one of those people who's knows what exactly they
Mhm,
want. Now, let me go
mhm.
back to the small apartments and the mobile home park. You said that's an
Yeah.
immediate. Now, is this also part of your long term, or as we call it in the Owners Club, your Mount Everest? Are they both the same, or you have some other ones you want to share with people?
So, because I'm an attorney, my goal is really to help people. So I am always, teaching free business law sessions in Owners Club or in the community. And I'm always just trying to help people mitigate their risk, right? Because when you're an investor, there's a lot of risk here in real estate, whether you're lending, right, whether you're flipping. And so that's also something that's really important to me is providing classes on, what to look for in JV agreements, what to look for in your promissory note. How can you really secure yourself if you have a second lien position, right? And so that's really, really important to me is providing that education. And I always tell people, yes, I am a lawyer, but I'm not your lawyer, right? And I always advise people to go to a lawyer that is licensed in their state, because they'll be able to provide the exceptions, right? The exceptions to the rules that are per their state law. What I do is I just give overarching things to think about, right? To minimize the risk. And that's what I love too, is just be able to give that back because you can go on YouTube and there's people that are going to give you the same information. But for me, what I like to do is I like at least now they know, okay, well, Jamie has this experience. She was a corporate lawyer, right? She did
Hmm.
this, she did that, right? She has these doors. This is her business. And so I'm able to provide a different perspective because I have had a business, right? That I built up and then I sold, right? I have properties, right? I'm scaling now and moving into a different asset class. And so it's always good whenever you're able to get some advice from someone that is in your community and you kind of know exactly what they're doing. Because it's a trust factor there too as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. There are just certain things you just can't get in a class. Now, I
Correct.
personally would love to be in a room, listen to
Mhm.
Jamie Davis talk about the legal aspect of creative finance. I want to be there in the front row. So I'm going to
You'll be
ask
there in the
this
front.
question. You know
Okay.
what I'm going about to ask. So are you ready to have uh, your 2 day classes? Or let me.
Yes.
What is it called?
Yes. A
It's not
master class, a
yeah.
seminar, webinar.
I just blanked out. It's my
Yes.
afternoon coffee need. Yeah.
Yes, I think for me, what I want to do is to make sure, um, I'm able to help people. That's my goal. I love to help people.
Hmm.
And I will tell you, especially once Casey and I close on this mobile home park and we're able to really scale the way we've kind of talked about. I would love to even have, something with him as well. Because Casey is a wealth of knowledge. I mean, he's a wealth of knowledge. And so I'm super excited to show people how you can partner with people, right? How you can come from two different backgrounds, two different industries, and partner on deals. And what does that look like, and how you can be successful. That's something that I think is really powerful. And I think definitely should be taught in the class, because there's a lot of people that partner and get in these agreements that are not, that are more general partnership, and it should be a JV. And then it's not suited for their business plan. So I would love to teach a class on that and really make sure people are prepared.
And when can I sign up for that?
Look, I'm already having some free classes. So let
Yep.
me say
I want a
Q4.
date. I want a
Okay.
solid date
Oh,
that I'm going to
solid
be
date.
your class on
Okay.
legality and JVing, because that sounds like an epic course that I think
Okay.
everybody should sign up for and do that. So
October. I'll do October. I need to look at my calendar on a free week, but let's do October.
how about
Uh-oh, you're gonna
challenge you
push
to
me
do
back.
it? I'm going to challenge you to do it in September. So when we go to Arizona with the Owners Club in
Okay.
October, we can talk about how awesome your courses were and classes. Deal?
Okay. All right, deal. September. Which, yeah, I'll try to find and I actually, you know what?
If
I
anybody can
actually
do it, you can. Jump in.
I can. Well, what I was gonna say is I actually might try to do it before football season. That's what I might try to do. So let's just see. Let's just see.
Yeah.
Let's just
Yeah. I'm going dark when the season, August 11th, when, Ohio
Yeah,
State's playing UT. I'm going dark.
yeah.
I'm coming
So I
in
might
and
do it before
yeah,
football season.
I think it's
Yeah,
August
that's what I'll
30th
do. I'll
actually.
do it before football season because it's gonna be, you know how it is during football season. So
Oh,
yeah, that's the goal.
I'm going
In
to be
August.
watching the Gators this year, and I'm going to be texting you every time they
Oh, I know you
lose.
are. I know you are now. You're gonna be like, oh, what
But
happened?
I will
You're gonna be
love
like,
to see
oh,
you guys.
Jamie.
Are you guys playing the Bulldogs? Are you playing Georgia this
Yes,
year?
we play them every year. Every year. That is the largest cocktail party. Well,
Oh,
they actually stopped calling it that because literally every year, one student from each school would end up like dead. Like literally, like it was like a tradition of like getting drunk and like falling off of the garages. Like it was kind of crazy. Like literally every year after the game, it would be somebody, both schools. So they stopped calling it the largest cocktail party in the world because literally it was like epic. But
that's
yes, we
so
always
epic.
play Georgia
Are
in
you going
Jacksonville.
this year?
I haven't gone in like, I think the last time I went was before COVID, like literally the year before COVID.
All right.
And yeah, but I love it. It's so much fun. So much fun.
Jamie Davis, if you
Okay.
hold your class in September, I will buy tickets for Georgia, Florida, and we'll go
Okay.
together.
Let's do it. Because I'm
High
gonna
five.
hold it in August. I'm holding it in August before
Do it in
football season.
August. I'm ready. I'll
Oh,
be in the front row with my University of Texas gear, and I want to listen to everything because I think you're going to do an amazing job. Just listening to you right now. Unfortunately, I didn't have a chance to talk to you at the Monterey, but now that I had a chance to speak with you for an hour, I'm ready.
let's do
So
it. I'm serious. It'll be August. After we get off, I'm gonna look at my schedule and I'll start working on my marketing material.
okay.
Not
Now,
playing.
if you want to
Okay.
hold it in the Pacific Northwest, and I don't know, you want to come to Gig Harbor or Seattle, just for me,
Okay.
I'm not,
Just for you.
yeah. Oh,
Just for you.
we can go to Gary, Indiana. How about that?
No one's. We're working on Gary. We're working on trying to get people to go to Gary. Yeah,
That's right.
we're working on that.
Yeah.
We're-
I've driven through Gary, and it has a
It's some
lot of needs.
opportunity.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
But the
love
good
the
thing is
fact.
it's right
Go
there
ahead,
by
please.
Chicago. It's right there by Chicago. So, there's some opportunities there for sure. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, when I used to fly private jet, people that wanted to go to Chicago, they would fly into Gary, and they
Uh-huh.
would take, the limo to wherever meeting
Yep.
they had. So,
Because it's
been
just
there a few
easier. Yep.
times. Yep.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So, is there anyone at the Owners Club that you want to work with? Like you were listening and or saw them in the room and you thought, God, I would love to work with that person. So my hope is that they're listening and they're going to reach out to Jamie and say, hey,
Okay.
let's do something. So who was it in the room that you looked at and go, I want to do business with her or him? Or not even do business, but just get to know them, right? Build a
Yeah.
relationship.
Yeah, so there were a couple of Brians that I met and we just like kicked it off. Yeah, there were two Brians that I met and we
Yeah.
just hit it off. I met one Brian at the bar. So if he's watching, he knows who he is. We were just at the bar talking. He has several businesses. He has like a big contract with Home Depot. We were just having a great time talking. Then there was another Brian that I met him and his wife, I think at one time at dinner. And then we just kept connecting for lunch and just great guy. And right now he's working on a big project in Phoenix. I think maybe 3 million is what he's working on. It's a syndication model, or I think it's on fractional. But I love their personality. I love their energy, and they would be great individuals to work with and to really partner with just because of their energy. I'm big on energy, right?
Hmm.
I'm
Absolutely.
very big on sometimes you can tell a person's heart and if they're good just from the energy alone, right? And so for me, I have to click with you. It has to be good energy, and I have to just feel. And just like with KC, I felt that good energy. I felt that he was amazing and just helpful and nice. And then now we're working on a deal together, right? And
Yeah.
that's really what I'm about. Can we partner? What are the resources that you bring that I can bring that we can really work together? Where are my weaknesses? Where are your strengths? Those are things that I look for. I will tell you, Owners Club is my first time ever thinking about partnerships because I was so used to doing everything by myself. And so I'm super excited about now having this new concept open to me about true partnerships. It's
Yeah.
exciting.
Wouldn't it have been great if you had an attorney that had a class on partnership that taught that course for you?
It would be
Where-
amazing, wouldn't it? It
Yeah,
would just
I
be
think in
amazing.
August you should look into that.
Yep, August is coming. I'll present the information, the date. Yep.
Yeah,
But it's true
well, I'm
because
going to
so
put you
many.
on the spot. I want you to look up
Yeah.
their last name. You just mentioned
Okay,
first
let's
name.
do it.
Do you have their Blink card?
I'm looking up my Blink right now.
Oh, take your time because we want to give a shout out and I want them to reach out to you because you're awesome and I feel your energy of how amazing you are and how perfectly you are fit for the Owners Club. People are going to love you.
I appreciate that.
I have an
Um,
attorney daughter. My oldest is an attorney, so I have a fun,
you have an
space in my heart
affinity.
for all attorneys, female attorneys.
Yes. Brian Dunlap. Brian is who I met at the bar at the hotel, and we just connected immediately and just we talked for like 2 hours and just
What
about
was he
business and
drinking?
life.
What was he drinking?
Well, I don't remember what I was drinking a hot toddy because it was cold there, so I was trying to keep a good warm drink. So
Uh-huh.
that's what I was drinking. I was
Yeah.
drinking a hot toddy,
People don't
and then
realize how cold Monterey is. My wife and I love to go there. We live in Gig Harbor outside of Seattle, and we go to Monterey a lot. And yeah, summer in Monterey doesn't mean shorts and t-shirt.
I wasn't expecting that. I mean, you saw I kept having I think it was a blanket, but I made it a scarf and I would just hold it. I would have it like, yeah, and I was like, oh, it's cold. Um,
Yes,
the whole
I
time.
saw a few people have that all over their
Yeah.
head. I was like, are they
Oh, I was like, oh
praying?
no,
Are they
this is
Jewish?
really, yeah,
Are
this
they
is
wailing against the wall? Because
like
everybody
it
was.
was so cold. Yeah, it was freezing.
Uh,
Okay, and then the second Brian is Brian McMillan. So we have Brian Dunlap and Brian McMillan, great guys, super excited. And then Caleb Christopher, he was one of the guys that live in the Kansas City area.
that's right. Yeah.
Yep. So I met him and
Caleb is an OG from last year.
yep.
Uh,
So I'm gonna connect with him shortly in person. So I'm super
so
excited about that.
if anybody
Um,
wants to get in touch with you, how would they reach you? What's the best way to get a hold of you if they are listening to you and they want to help you and get involved with the small apartments renovation?
yeah. Yeah, so my blink I don't know if I don't know how I can share my blink, but my information I have a website. It's called phoenixequityinvestmentgroup.com. And so there's a way that you can put your information in there, or you can email me at jamie@phoenixequityinvestmentgroup.com. I'm super, super excited about, like I said, this venture of partnerships and just diving into Owners Club. I'm excited to see what this year continues to bring. We have 6 months left in the year, right? So
Hmm.
Christmas is coming soon. So a lot of work yet to do for the year, but super excited about Owners Club and where it's going. And yes, and my session that I'm going to host in August.
I'll be there right in the front.
Yep.
Where's my UT hat? I'll be wearing all my
Yes, you have to wear
Texas
UT.
garment. People will know who I am there.
Yeah. Yeah,
The
you
very
have to.
few that don't. No, that's awesome. Caleb is great, and thank you for sharing your phone number and your contact information.
Well, I'll give you my phone number. I didn't put that in there. So my phone number, can I put my
Oh,
phone number
please.
out? Yep, it's eight. This is my personal cell. It's 817-308-5091. So
Okay,
eight
5
one
years from
seven
now, when people are calling
three
you
zero
at
eight
that number,
5091. I know, right? I gave my personal, it's my personal too. That's
yeah,
my
I know.
personal.
Yeah, I've gotten to the point where I give the owners club members my personal cell phone. Others
Mhm.
can just call my business number, call the
Right, 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 right,
206 number.
right, 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 right.
So, well,
Yeah.
fantastic. What I would love to do, if you got time, I want to talk some more about you as a person, family, where did you grow up? Just the
Okay.
basic of how you got to be Jamie Davis, the
Yeah.
attorney.
So I grew up in Arlington, Texas. My dad was in the military, so I was a Army brat for a little while. He retired after, I think, 15 or 20 years. And so we settled down. We moved around a lot. Germany, we were in Fort Bragg, North Carolina, we were in Tampa. And when he retired, we moved to Texas. And my dad worked for the Bureau of Engraving and Printing. And so growing up, when everyone talks about what their dad is doing or does or career,
Hmm.
I was the kid that was like, oh, my dad makes money. And they were like, yeah, my dad does too. And I'm like, no, your dad, no, my daddy makes money. Like,
Literally.
like makes money, right? And they were like, oh, right. And so I remember, going to the facility, taking tours when they would allow people to take tours, right?
Hmm.
Um, I remember like my parents used to give like a roll of money, like ones for people's like birthdays and gifts and stuff like that. And it was funny because one time my grandmother actually cut some of the money and was like, I needed some money. And we were like, you don't cut unrolled money. It's like a gift. Like, why would you like what is
Oh, I
going
love
on?
you, Grandma. Yes.
Right. I was like, Grandma, like you don't do that. She was like,
What's
oh,
Grandma's
I just
name?
figured Shirley.
Grandma
Shirley Ann.
Shirley. Come
Shirley
on, little
Ann.
Shirley
No
Ann,
country.
please.
I was like, who does that? Like you supposed to like keep. I was like, oh my gosh, right? So it's just it was funny. So growing up, my mom's an educator. She's a teacher, and so I was always taught education is very important, and I think that's just kind of what my parents knew. They were like, you get your education.
Mhm.
So I always knew, I had to get multiple degrees because the one thing my parents taught me is no one can take your education from you, right? Like you work hard. And so I did what most people do. You go to school. I got 3 degrees and then I got a corporate job, right? And when I was going through, corporate America, I just knew something else was out there for me.
Mhm.
I've always known I was destined for greatness and for more. I've always felt, and I've always known that I was very favored, right? Um, yes, I had to work hard as a child. I'm not one that's like naturally gifted, and I would study and I enjoyed learning. But I was one that if I did anything bad, I would immediately get caught. Right. Like it wasn't something where like
Yeah.
God would me keep doing that. No, 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 no. Right. And so I knew at a young age that there was something bigger for me than other people. I knew that. I always knew that I was destined for more. So when I was in corporate America and I was going up the ladder and doing all the things you're supposed to do, I still just felt like there was more for me. During COVID, so I've worked for major corporations like Walmart, AMC Theatres, so big brands, right?
Hmm.
Um, during COVID, you hit a age where they tell you, hold on now, you might need to freeze your eggs if you haven't had any kids. So I went ahead and I froze my eggs, right?
Okay.
And
Thank you for
like,
sharing.
right, well, it's a point. I'm gonna get to the point, right? So I froze my
Please,
eggs.
it's your
And
story. Please
it's the
share.
story. Yeah,
I
no,
have
it's my
Dr. Yeah, I have a cousin who does that. I mean, she's a OB-GYN, and that's
yeah,
all she does. I mean,
yeah.
it's
It's all it's
fantastic
a
what
it's
you
a
did. But
it,
please, I
yeah.
interrupted.
So,
Go
so
ahead.
kind of let me tell you kind of the testimony there. So the next day I woke up after my egg retrieval, and then freezing the eggs, and I was definitely sick. And so I immediately knew it was COVID. Because I had never felt like that ever before in life, ever.
Oh my
And
God.
so I'm in the house for like 5 days, just like trying to get, and it's not, I'm getting worse and I'm getting worse. And like every time I have to go to the bathroom, I have to run to the bathroom because I can't breathe. Like when I'm up, I can't breathe. The only time I can breathe is I'm laying down.
Wow.
So I call my boyfriend. I'm like, you have to come get me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you have to take me to the hospital. Like I know I have COVID. So he rushes me to the hospital. The hospital, of course, was full. The emergency room was packed. They take my, I forgot what it's called when they get your heart, your oxygen. I think it's your oxygen level. And they immediately rush me to the back. And I'm in the ICU for 6 days. 6 days.
Oh, good
And
God.
so when I was in the ICU for 6 days, I was by myself because at that time they weren't letting anybody back there, right? My
Yeah, I
parents
remember.
drove up, and they couldn't see me, but they just drove up and they were praying in the parking lot, and calling me, and everyone was calling me, and you're doing all the things. At that point, I already had my will and my trust in place, and so between coughing and trying to breathe, I was having conversations with some of my best friends, saying, hey, if I don't make it, this is where this document is. This is where this document is. I don't want to have this conversation with my parents. I don't want to scare them, but I am really sick. And so this is where this is, right? I'm calling another friend saying, hey, I want you to take care of my sister if I don't make it, right? So having
Mhm.
very serious conversations and not
Yeah,
telling my parents. I mean, my parents knew that I was sick. They knew I was in ICU. But every time we would talk, I tried to just keep it upbeat because I didn't want to scare them. And my dad has never cried, but he cried when I was in ICU. Like we were talking, because he could hear that I was sick and I was tired, and that's when I said I have to fight this. And so my doctor, I told my doctor, I was like, I'm walking out of here, and I'm a new person. Like I was like, I am not. I was like, I just froze my eggs like 2 days ago. Like I can't be out here freezing eggs and then I'm dying the next day. And so basically, when I was in that hospital, I created a plan. And that's when I decided to buy real estate. That's when I decided to have a business, because what I realized is I was just another number to corporate America. If something happened to me, I don't even know if they would send flight. I mean, you just never know with corporate America, right? They would keep on
sure.
going. Your job would be posted the next day. And I realized that me going up the corporate ladder, I did not leave enough impact. What I had done in the world wasn't enough. It was just work related. And so literally I got better. I was asking the doctors for extra shots of whatever they were giving out. I was like, oh, I'm living, right? They would tell me to walk around my room. I would walk around twice as what they told me, right?
You were fighting, girl. You were
I was
fighting.
oh, I was like, I'm
So
not doing this. I'm not
awesome.
dying here, right? And
Yes,
so
ma'am.
when they kind of wheeled me out, the nurses, I bust out crying, and they're like, "Are you okay? Can you breathe? What's going on?" And I said, "You know, someone on this floor didn't make it, but I did, right? Someone in this hospital died of COVID while I was here, right? And I am now being pushed out to go home and to live my life. I have a second chance." And I told the nurses, just like I told the doctor, I am going to live to the fullest, and I am never going to just stay silent regarding things that I want to tell people, how I want to help people. Because a lot of times when you're a corporate America, you can't talk about investing, right? Because
Mhm.
you don't want it to ever come back. And people say, well, the reason Jamie didn't hit those KPIs is, she has this business and that. Sometimes it can come up, right? And so I said to myself, I'm going to live my life for me, and I'm going to really work hard at being a blessing to other people. And that, to be honest, is what changed my life, is the fact that I had to fight to live. It did. It changed my life. And ever since then, I bought properties. I had the business. I've been investing, and I've never looked back.
Wow.
I
That's
never looked
so
back.
powerful.
Yeah.
God had other plans for you.
Oh, for
You
sure.
were not done that day in that
Yep.
floor. So God bless.
Yep.
You were a
Yeah.
fighter. You're so right. I took care of my sister before she passed away. She had cancer, and when she had cancer in her lungs, and she would have a hard time breathing.
Mhm.
And she was a fighter. She's, brilliant doctor, lovely
Yeah.
lady, and she kept fighting. She just kept on
Yeah.
fighting, and I just, for 16 months, I was there with her
Mhm.
fighting, and I totally
Yeah.
understand. And And I appreciate how important life is. Like
Yeah.
today is important.
Yeah.
Do good, be good, and
Mhm.
just appreciate today. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So just keep pushing forward, going up the mountain, the Mount Everest. I want to circle back to your Mount Everest. So do you
Oh
have it
gosh.
ready to go,
Oh
or you want to
gosh.
practice, or
You know, I will be honest.
what are some of the things that you really want to accomplish in the next 5 to 10 years? So let's just go backwards and start there.
Well, I appreciate that because I will be honest, I still don't really have a Mount Everest. Because I just feel like it's ever changing. I know we had a session on it. You know, I will be honest, I kind of was talking to people about other things and I should have been working on my Mount Everest, so I'll be honest there. But you know what I really want to accomplish? I really want when I think about legacy, what do I want? Like if something ever happens to me in the next 5 years, right? What do I want people to say? I want people to say that I helped them think beyond what they ever could imagine. And so that is telling my story, that is providing housing to someone that inspired them to then maybe go to college. That is telling my story about my vending business that then sparked something in someone to start a business that then they were able to leave their W-2 and really thrive and break generational curses. You know, my goal in life is just to be a service to others, a true service to others, while also, of course, you know, being able to pay my bills too, right? And being able to really grow as a real estate investor. And so, you know, my goal is just to help people and to thrive. At one point, I had this goal of I want to own 5,000 apartments. I want to own all these. You know, I don't even think of numbers now. What I think of is I want to help the next generation. I want to help change someone's trajectory. And if that is just me, if God says, Jamie, I only want you to own 10 apartments, that's just 10 apartments. But I know the impact I'm going to have on those 10 lives are going to be great. Right. And so that's how I think of it now. I just let the Lord use me. Like, I'm like, here, whatever you know, I'm not going, because what I have learned is I said what I want to do. I want to do this in corporate America. I want to do this in corporate America. And then what happened? Got sick, got COVID, and God said that's not what you're supposed to do. So I don't ever want to just create this vision for myself. Yes, I have things and goals for myself, but at this point, I have a vision board. I'm looking at it right now. But I leave it up to God because I know God is good at pivoting and moving me around. And what I thought I wanted is not even close to the grand gesture or the grand thoughts that the Lord has for me. Right. A lot of times people are like, oh, I want to do this and this. And then God will show up and show out bigger than you ever imagined. And so that is how I'm living my life of Lord, put me where you want me because I don't want to be anywhere but in your grace and in your favor and where you want me to be. And so that's kind of when it comes to like my Mount Everest, I leave it open because it doesn't matter what I want. It matters what the Lord wants for me. And so I'm just a vessel for him to use me for his glory.
Wherever the Lord puts you, I know you're going to do great things because I feel your energy and I feel your heart that you really want to change the world and you want to make an impact in your community. You are the perfect person to be in the Owners Club, and I'm so glad you joined the Owners Club. And I look forward to giving you more trouble about your Gators. But I do want to do business with you, and I think you're a remarkable person, and I thank you so much for spending time. I do have one couple of other things if you have time. We're kind of running down. Do you have your buy box ready? Is that something you could share with us? Yeah, if you could email me that, I'll post it and
okay,
it'll
perfect.
be in the
I'll
link.
email it to you.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I focus on in Kansas City metro area. I'm also focusing in the Northwest Indiana area just because I know of all the amazing things that Ezzy Redwood is doing in the community there. And then I have a third buy box in the Detroit area. So not Detroit proper, but I really enjoy the outskirts of Detroit where there are a lot of people who, you know, are looking for those one bedroom units and who, you know, are a little bit further out from Detroit. So those are my three buy boxes: the Detroit area, but not Detroit proper, the Kansas City metro area, and then Northwest Indiana. And I am super, super excited about those areas. And then, of course, small apartments, 20 to 25 units. And I'll even look at smaller units as well. But up to 20, excuse me, up to 25 units. And then, of course, mobile home parks.
Yeah. Well, I know for a fact that we're going to do business together.
Yes,
I
we
want
are.
to, and if God puts us there, we'll do work together. So we'll do
Yes,
good
we
work.
will.
I really want to actually. I have fond memories of Gary, Indiana, and because I love music and the Jacksons and the whole music industry. But
Mhm.
I would love to own some properties and help you raise capital for the deals you're doing in.
I love that. Let me tell you, Gary, and so that was something, you know what? Now you got me thinking of another initiative. I think I really will host something in Gary,
Don't
with
hold
the
this girl
city.
back. She's ready. Go,
Look,
Jamie.
I'm like, there we go. And we can host where we bring in the city, right? Where we bring in contractors, where we bring in other investors, and we bring in owners club members, and we can even open it up to sub two. And we could do a weekend. We start Friday, maybe have a reception or something, and then all day Saturday, maybe we tour some properties. I'm gonna work on that.
There's another workshop right there. Yeah.
Now, I'm gonna work on it before it gets cold.
Yeah, I love Gary, Indiana in the summertime. I love
It is
Chicago.
beautiful now.
Greatest city in the world
Beautiful. It's beautiful
for about
now.
2 months out of the year. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, and I don't know if people realize this, but Gary has a beautiful beach.
Hmm.
Beautiful
Yeah.
beach. People
Gary
don't
is
know
a
that.
kind of a hidden gem.
It's a
It
hidden
needs help.
gem.
It needs some
It
amazing
does.
people like you to fix up the some parts of the city, but itself is a great town. I love it.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
I really, every time I'm there, I enjoy it. It's a lot of great people there. Um, and that is now something that's on my list is to host. So maybe it won't be this August, or maybe I can get it done this August. We'll see. That'll be a stretch, and maybe I can combine both
Hmm.
my seminar. I mean, well, August is next month. Ooh, August is next month.
Girl, you better get to work. Sorry, I
Oh my
apologize.
goodness.
I said girl.
No,
That's
you're
what I
fine. You're
call
fine.
my
But
daughters
yeah,
and my wife, girl. Sorry.
you're fine. You're fine. Okay, but it's next month. What am I? Okay, I'm gonna figure this out because I do think people actually need to see the city. But I will say in the winter time, it is just there. It's a whole nother level of cold that I myself still have a hard time dealing with. So it might have to be like next August. But either way, we're gonna put this together.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. It is cold, and just think about the families who have to endure that cold
Yeah.
in some of the
Yeah.
apartments that we're talking about and we're thinking. I know exactly what apartments you're talking about. I have it in my head right now, and
Uh-huh.
they have to
Yeah.
endure the cold
Mhm.
of
Yes.
Indiana, Gary, Indiana,
It,
all winter in
yeah.
some very subpar real estate
Yes.
properties. So,
Yes.
and if I had, a couple of $100,000 sitting around and I wanted to invest with you,
Mhm.
how would I approach you as far as, hey, let's
I
do
am
some business?
yeah, I'm open to private money lenders. I'm open to JV partnerships as well. And like I said, my buy box is really focused on that Northwest Indiana, Kansas City right now, which is a great market. Detroit area is a great market. So I'm really focused on areas where there's a lot of opportunities, there's a lot of population growth. Northwest Indiana is growing as well too, because a lot of people have moved from Chicago and moved to Indiana due to the lower taxes and things like that, lower cost of living. So there's a lot of opportunities in Indiana, a lot of things going on there. I will tell you this, Gary actually has a Hard Rock Cafe, like
Mhm.
a Hard Rock Cafe casino. Literally, it's brand new, only been open, I think maybe 2 years, but it's right off the highway. And who would have ever thought, right, that maybe 10 years ago, Gary was like the murder capital of the country, right? And I will tell you over the last couple of years, they've reduced their crime by 80%, right?
Mhm.
They're now bringing in a lot of major corporations and companies there. It's a lot of movement, right? And so there's a lot of things going on. And if you have a mission driven purpose and you want to invest, I think it's a great time. Reach out
Mhm.
to me. I have the connections with the city, and now it's just time to build and to really help those residents because they need better housing. They deserve better housing, and then you're going to see more. Chicago residents move out there due to just the
Mhm.
lower cost of living and things like that. So it's a lot of opportunities for sure.
Yeah. I think unfortunately media gives a bad rap to
Yeah.
Chicago.
Yeah.
But the true statistic is that violent crime is going down in every one of our major city. I mean, I'm
Yes.
an immigrant. I'm a 1000% positive person. I love
Yeah.
America, and
Yeah.
we can fix this. But we
Yes,
just need
for
to put our
sure.
mind and our spirit into it.
For sure.
But yeah, crime's going down.
It
There's
is. It
opportunity
is.
to help, and
Yes.
let's move it to Gary, Indiana,
Yes.
or
I like when
northern.
I'm there and just be at the beach. Let's be at the beach during the summer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much for the time. I typically end the podcast with asking a question that the previous guest had asked and wants to ask you. And
Oh
then
Lord.
you'll ask the next guest a question. I have a list of 1,000 questions from ChatGPT. We can use that,
Okay.
or a question you want to come up with for the next
Okay.
guest.
Now I have to come up with a question for the next person.
Or you just pick a
Okay.
number, or just pick a number from one to
Okay.
1,000. All right.
Gotcha. Okay.
I was talking to an amazing Mike Davis from Maryland,
Uh-huh. Okay.
and that was the previous podcast. I don't know when it's going to be
So my
posted.
cousin,
Yeah, yeah,
last name
cousin.
Davis, my cousin.
Mike is great. But Mike wants to know, he picked a number. He cheated. He didn't, he just said
Okay.
number 888. But the question is, how do you prepare for the unexpected? Like
Ooh,
failure or even success. How do you prepare for success? Let's
I
go with
can talk
that.
about failure. I can talk about failure because I feel like growing up, my parents drilled excellence in my brain. They drilled going to college, getting degrees, going having this successful career. And I will tell you when I didn't have it anymore, I felt like a failure. I felt like I don't have this big career anymore. What am I supposed to do? I felt like I let a lot of people down. And I will be honest, I really dealt with, am I worthy? Because a lot of times when you are an attorney or anybody, when you meet someone, they say either where do you work in the corporate America, right? So you're defined by your employer,
Right.
especially in the legal community, especially in the legal community,
Yeah,
right? So
absolutely.
for years, I was able to say I worked at Walmart or AMC Theaters, right? And so when you don't have those big names, you can see how people treat you. And so my goal is to help people realize they don't have to do this big corporate America. They don't have to do that if that's not in their
Mhm.
heart.
Yeah.
But I want people to realize, oh no, go on.
No, no, you're absolutely right. But going back to the preparing for the
How do you prepare
failure,
for
I,
it?
I think that's one of the reasons people stay I know it's true for
Yes.
me, stay in the W-2 because it's
Yep.
less risky. The check is coming, the
Yeah.
money's coming,
Yeah.
less worry about the unexpected failure
Yeah.
because as a business owner, everything's up to you.
I'm
Go
telling
ahead.
you, you have to have that mental
Toughness.
you have to have that mental toughness. And if you don't have it, you have to have it quickly. So how I prepared for changes in my life is I surround myself now with more positive people. I surround myself with people who are not just in corporate America. I surround myself with people who truly want the best for me and their viewpoint of me is not based upon what bonus structure I'm at in the company. It's not based upon my level. Am I a senior director? Am I a director? It's not based on that. And so I had to change my surrounding.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really what prepared me is literally changing my surrounding, reading different books, being around different people. Because if you're just around the same people over and over, and a lot of my friends are all lawyers, right? We went to the same conferences together. We kind of grew up together as young lawyers. And when I started saying, I want more for myself, I don't want to just be a corporate lawyer. I had to kind of change my friend group. I had to change my thought process. I don't think the same. I don't crumble like I used
Mm-hmm.
to crumble when I wouldn't get things. I've had to toughen up. I've had to mature. I've had to pivot.
Yeah, it's mental toughness and emotional maturity. Those two
Uh-huh.
have to go together,
Have
to
to.
be prepared for failure. Absolutely.
Have to.
Well,
Have
thank you
to.
so much. That was a really excellent answer. I hope everyone get a chance to listen and learn. And if they want to reach out to Jamie Davis, we're going to post all the numbers below and contact.
Yeah.
I'm going to post your buy box. Anything else you want to ask the next guest, or do you want to just pick a number?
No, I want to ask the next guest. So I'm all about reading, right? And I believe that leaders are readers. And so I would love to know the last book that they read and what did they learn from that book, right? Like what is something that they truly learned from and that they're implementing in their business or their daily practice? I would love to learn that.
Very excellent question. But you didn't give me your book.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you, I read Who Not How. And that has changed.
Yeah.
That has changed like that I have been able to really streamline. Who Not How, and I'm actually it was another book that they wrote, Gains. It's a book about gains. I have it literally on my bed and I'm gonna read it before I start going to sleep because one of my July challenges is to read that book. And so I haven't started yet. I know we're on July 3rd. But it is but yes, that author has changed my perspective on life.
Yeah. I am so glad you're at the Owners Club. You're just
I'm
gonna
so glad that we
you're just
connected.
gonna make this Owners Club so much better. You just elevate everybody, and I'm so glad you're here. I'm glad we're friends, and I
Yes.
look forward to this year, and I look forward to being in the workshop in August wearing my UT outfit. So front row.
Front row with your UT hat. I get to. But no, I want to
I
thank you
love
for
you.
this. I love you too. But I really want to thank you for this platform. I think that you are providing an opportunity, to get to know Owners Club members. So I know you know a lot of people, but you're giving an opportunity for others to get to know each other by watching this. And then you're allowing people to open up, right? Because it's so hard in Owners Club. It's 500 and something of us, right? So sometimes it can be hard to open up on these Zooms, but you do a great job with Casey of getting people to talk and helping him. And so I want to give you your flowers because a lot of times when you're the interviewer, you don't have the opportunity to like give your story or to get your flowers. So I wanted to do that because you do a great job on the weekly call. And I love the fact that you're putting your podcast together to bring people together and interview. And so just continue to do the work that you're doing, and God's going to continue to bless you tremendously.
You. Well, thank you. I say that this is a very selfish reason. I just want to get to know all 530. I want to get to know what your name is, what your boyfriend's name is, what college you went, how can I pick on you, what's your weakness. I love picking on people just because if I pick on you, it's because I love you. If I ignore you, then you have a problem. Yeah. But yeah, thank you so much. It's good platform, and I'm really looking forward for everybody to sign up and grab that microphone, get on stage, and talk to the rest of the Owners Club.
I love this. Yeah. And hope the goal is for Casey and I to present it what's it called? Oh goodness. What is it called? August 1st. It's called, is it Deal Maker? Yeah, Deal Maker.
The August 1st Deal Maker. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. So the goal is to get on stages and to really just start getting out there more.
What a perfect time when you're on stage to tell them about your workshop.
Oh, I'm just
saying things are falling in place.
Look, you're good. You're good. You're good.
You're awesome. Take care. Have a wonderful day. Hook 'em horns.
Oh, here you go. Go Gators.
Hook 'em horns.
Bye. Bye.
Hey there. You made it. Thank you for watching or listening to this podcast. Now that I have your attention, do me a favor and subscribe and follow us. And give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed this episode. Comment below. Let us know what you found interesting. And follow us on Instagram at Sean Ziari.